Hello and good morning from Australia. My name is Bobby Richardson. These are Ascension messages and I'll be your guide for today. We're doing big questions today, so using tarot, and we're going to ask, we're going to tap into 4 different countries. So how I do this is I have to completely clear my own objective on what these countries are all about. Luckily, I don't watch the news or TV or anything like that. And then I tap into their energies through humanity's consciousness. And we will get information through the tarot telling a story. So that's how we're going to do it. Just to let you know too, I have some masterclasses coming up, and that won't be for another month or so. I mean, there's a lot of work to do with those. But I'm up to the 4th focusing we, because I'm working with my team. There's a lot of channeling and stuff going on. The first class is a freebie, so that's pretty much general messages that I teach anyway, and that's why I chose to do a freebie plus. I really believe that the world needs to hear that one. So the next ones that are there are to do with soul recognition, bringing in the soul, using the imagination, again, for our own benefit. But it's got a lot of really juicy stuff in it, and channel messages. Then it goes on to the pineal gland, which is just exploded with information. And then we go into using all of that combined to become channelers ourselves and be able to tap into the universal language of telepathy. So that's my master classes coming up. I'm also an intuitive counselor, so you can book me online, and the information is down below. Just really, it's an interesting topic that I was sitting down last night and going, what's the big question? And I was going through some big questions just off the internet, and none of them resonated. I was looking literally like up to 80 big questions. I'm like, nah. And this one just popped in my head. So meant to be, and I love it how that happens like that. Hey, Julie, good to see you in the chat bar. So we would tap in first to China, and we're going to pull 3 cards for the past, 3 cards for the present, 3 cards for the future. Now, also remember, they're telling me, please remember, each one of it, everyone feels like they're on the winning side, right? So just remember that when we tap in, that there is no winning sides here, and this is an energy reading, just like when you turn on the news and you will see what's happening out in the outer world. This is an energetic reading of what's happening. So we're going to use Osho first, because I'm really familiar with them, and this is a different reading than I usually do. So let me just tap in. Give me a moment just to tap into China. China. Okay. We're going into the past. China in the past. Oh, it feels so different in the past than what it does in the present. It's so interesting when I tapped into China right here, right now, because that's what I did. And then I went into the past. The difference is very different. There's a lot more spiritual connection and understanding of self in the past with China and Chinese people. And we're talking about really Asia over that side. I suppose we'd call it the eastern side. Anyway, let's get into this. See okay, we'll start again. My cards just went all jumbled. Okay, let's just pull it all together. Okay. China. In the past, please. Past. China's past. Energy reading for China's past. We want 3 cards. Thank you. Energy reading for China's past. 3 cards. Okay. Okay. Okay, we got 3 cards that came out. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, China's past. In the past, we had adventure. There was a lot more freedom. Scope, there's a lot more spirituality as well. We have these 3 cards, sharing and masterful. So the master card, very, very spiritual card here. So he has the literal opening of the 3rd eye, the portal at the top of him. So in the past, China was very connected to their 3rd eye in the spiritual sense. Interesting what they're telling me, because it's also, they were saying, yes, they were connected more to their spiritual side, but there wasn't there was like a naivety when it come to grounding. So that's interesting. But they did have a lot more adventures in their past. So their past was more to do with rolling, they're showing me rolling hills, kind of like fast landscapes, stepping towards their living more in the moment, stepping towards their outside reality with a much more spiritual essence of looking for signs and trusting their intuition and all of that sort of stuff. A lot more. There were those that were, and we're talking about not the past as in Atlantis Lemuria age, we're talking about still in that masculinity era. That's just been, but we're talking hundreds and hundreds of years ago here. So they had this understand, they held on to their understanding of their spiritual side a lot more, but they also were naive when it comes to the creation. It was, though, how could I put this? They understood the energy level between Mother Earth and themselves, and the signs that were to be. They worked with energy. They felt into all of that through this MasterCard. You can see it, like this guy. This is actually Osho, the master of these cards. This is the person that actually created these amazing tarot cards with another with an artist. And the contents in his book is just like very clear and understanding when it comes to a spiritual base. So that's really where they were. They had a lot more to see. They understood of the caring and sharing kind of aspects with each other. And they also had a lot more adventure and stuff. Okay, we'll move from there and we'll go into the present. I've got 4 countries to go through here. So plus I think it's quite interesting what present's going to come up with, because I did feel into that. Obviously, we as humans and how we perceive the world, we are only told by other government fractions on what's going on. So our reality is limited as to what's really truly going on. Plus, those that are in the social media that are coming out with this and that. But hang on, I don't feel like I was in the vortex then. Sorry, I just want to get present with the present of China. Present of China, please. But I will take that card into account. It was an upside down totality, so they weren't very present anymore, because it was totality means to be very present, and it was in reverse. Okay, so present for China, presence for China, present for China, present for China. Presence for China, presence for China, presence for China. Yeah, okay, so this is really interesting. So if I take into account that totality card that came in upside down, probably should have shown you guys that one. It flipped out, but I didn't feel as in the zone as I felt like I should have been. We have a trust card. So there's something within China that they've got to a pinnacle point within themselves. of guilt, where they're over it, they're over their head, taking over their minds, and they're over the mind story, they're over being controlled, they're over their own self-control of trying to fit into a complex situation that doesn't actually work for humanity's growth or the evolution of the soul. And it's pressing them into a kind of, like they said, demonic kind of a presence within themselves that's pushing them over the cliff, into, you know, what's better, what's easier than this is just to trust myself into flying into this oblivion of, I don't know where I'm going to go anymore. There's an understanding of figuring out that the cage can be opened by themselves. They can fly through. The bird was always free, but they proverbially were have been pushed into such a strange corner within their heart space that they are willing to take this leap of faith now, into jumping into oblivion. So interesting that humanity's consciousness over there is feeling this tension so much so. And so it's going to literally push them into taking matters into their own mind, if you get what I mean. It wasn't that, like they're saying to me, it's not their hands that they're taking matters into, which is an outside force doing something. It's more of taking matters into their own mind and coming back into stillness to understand that they always had the key within them to be able to move through this, what's happening at the moment over there. I don't know what's happening over there. I really don't know, because I don't watch any news or anything. I see teeny little fleeting bits on the social media, but I haven't seen anything of China for a long time, so I don't really know. But these cards are telling me that they are being pushed to such a point where it's like death or jump. Like, if I'm thinking of getting out of this, then I might as well take a leap of faith into something completely new and off charter. So there could be something that the people just go, that's it, and do something completely different. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that one. But I'm feeling this, what I'm really feeling is a squeezing of one's mind into, it's like a pivotal point of tension where they just pop and they just go, that's it. I'm not playing this game anymore. And so there's only one game left to play, which is stepping into this unknownness, this I don't know where I'm leaping. I have no idea. I'm just going to have a crack at something completely different where I'm coming from my own point of view and leaping, because the understanding card is the understanding that they were always free. They never had to follow such a compressed situation. So what's going to happen for China in the future. China in the future. China in the future, please. China in the future. I just had this like little tap on my shoulder from my team. We're here with you, because this is such an unusual reading for me. Okay, China in the future. But I love it. I love these. I love this sort of like I like pushing the envelope. China in the future. China in the future. China in the future. I do see. I do still see this. I still see technical stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. China in the future. We've got 2 cards. China in the future. Okay, we've got 3 cards. Okay. Well, that's looking not too bad, actually. So we have breakthrough. See, this is what I was feeling with the present. They're just going to go, that's it. See, this is literally what I was seeing within them, just going, well, if we're thinking of, doing the out in the game in the respect of not being here anymore, then we might as well do the work, this kind of work that brings us to this explosive feeling of that's it kind of feeling. And that is going to bring in a lot more understanding of their environment. Like, they're bringing me to the central bit. It's kind of like a yin yangy kind of a swirl vortex thing where they're coming into the central point, and then their participation with other countries and how they can actually work together again. So there's something gonna, and I love this, because don't we want everyone to start to work together. So maybe through their squeezing into that horrible space that they were, it may, I don't know whether they'd be the first country that just turns around and goes, that's it, or whether they, but we'll see what the other countries say, right? But there's a participation and an awareness of understanding that they are more than what they've been told they are, that they go beyond the veil. See, there's a opening here of the shadow stuff and doing all the shadow work and everything like that. And then they're like, I'm blowing, like I literally see them going, and the veil is so thin. The veil is so thin that it's just easy for them to step through, because they've thinned it out by coming into such tension within themselves that it's just thin as the veil. So when they actually go to step through into this other world, but while I was shuffling, I did see, and I'll tell you what I saw. I saw, like, I still saw holographic things, but it was all more conducive with the fun that they have, that they integrate it into creating something beautiful, rather than being used against them and deception and stuff. They see through the deception easily enough to be able to gain the wisdom of the outside world or the technology and stuff to use as an advantage for them to not have such a destructive nature, having destructive nature on Mother Earth. So creating realities that there's less footprint on the earth, but still, and they could go out to the earth and become part of her, or they can go into this. It's kind of like another technical side that's inviting, but not in a way of going against the grain of humanity's evolution, but rather bringing it in as something that's conducive to our evolution and our understanding of how they live on Earth in a futuristic kind of a way. So there's something new, and I wouldn't expect to get that. I would have expected myself, getting myself out of the way when I'm bringing these messages in, I would have expected them to go back to nature and all that sort of stuff. But so it's kind of hard for me to even say that, but that's what I'm showing, so that's what I'll tell you. Yeah, it's like they're recognizing their outer world and their inner world coming together, and what works and what doesn't. So that's interesting, that they might still have certain places or places that there is this inviting technology that's not ever used against anyone, because everyone's clear within themselves and no one can deceive another when they are that clear and centered, but still using it to their advantage. And and then now they're telling me the space age. So they might even be moving through that clarity of and being invited into the benevolence of the space age that's outside of Earth as well, through the technological advancements, but from a central point of view, a race that actually will go back home, will find their planet that their DNA was infused with. There's some sort of collaboration with another being that created who they were, and then they go back to that Acrturia So there's something advancing coming up for them as well. Really interesting. Okay. Oh, this is kind of juicy. Okay, let's get into USA. Totally other energy here. So just let me clear that energy and come into the USA. I might use I might get Osho as well, but they're showing me use the tarot. So I'll pull in the tarot for USA. USA. Okay, so we're going into the past. Past. I have to breathe just to let go of the mind that I have of what it's all about. They're bringing me to social studies, and in my social studies class, they were teaching me history, and I remember going, this isn't just it. There's something more going on with history. This is not all true. And it was interesting. Anyway, okay, so USA. That's why they're like telling me clear the path for the past to come through. USA is a past and the past. We're talking the last 1,000 years, is a few hundred years. Past of history of USA. Now we had a card then that just flipped in, 2 cards that flipped upside down in the deck. So I will grab those, but I will take note that they actually flipped inside the deck. I might have to, these are major arcanas and the peoples. What's with all the people? That's so interesting. Okay, we got 3 cards and they're all people. Okay, and tell me the story. History of USA. We have, sorry, I'm sitting there staring and you don't see them. The King of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Wow. Just let me tap in, because the major iconas, I might have to get my Osho deck as well, because they're all people, but I'll see if I get a story first from it. They're bringing me to the lizards in the background on each of these pilings, and they're bringing me some sort of feeling that there was an outer balance with the feminine and the masculine. Like one's a pentacle and one's a wand. One's a doing, masculine, very doing. Pentacle is like earthy, grounded. So of course, I know within myself there was the whole Indian takeover and all that sort of stuff. So I'm trying to get rid of that story so that I can get just an energy feel here. But okay, so they're saying to me it was meant to happen, always meant to happen. The abundance was the feminine that was grounded in USA was out of balance with the action that was happening with the masculine. So the King of Swords comes in and cuts through the truth, because there was a limit of growth that wasn't happening. And to really push the envelope and put those in America on edge was to just cut through everything. They're showing me like weeds or bushes being just chopped away to clear the path again, because something new was going to happen, and they couldn't evolve into more abundance or more bringing in more understanding of their outer world, because the Queen was there. There was something to do with the energy of those that were present. So we'll look at the tribal messages, the tribes and all that. was so present and so beautiful and so rounded, but it wasn't growing. There was a stagnation. There was something that needed to keep up with the rest of the world and the growth that was happening in humanity's consciousness. And so the proverbial shamans of those tribes, you know, like, look, there's something else coming, and look, we have to invite the sword in. We have to invite those in that we're going to chop away everything, because and from a shamanic view, as the observer, they would be seeing the shift that was going to happen was going to break open this egg of not being able to this kind of egg of not being stuck, so it would grow something even more fantastical. And so it seemed like a diabolical thing that, you know, those came and chopped down what was already present, and seemed like it was conducive. But it was, if that was the case, if it never happened, then America would have fallen behind the evolutional growth of all of other humans. And so it needed to happen. That's so interesting. Okay. I love it how these messages come through. I'm going, where's this going to take me? Okay. So that was the past. So now we're going to go into the present USA. Hey, everybody in the chat bar, Star, Diana, Yannicka, Mark, Julie. Good to see you guys. Okay. The present in US. Okay, well, we've got, I don't know what to do with that, because we have 3 thrown over there and 4 cards thrown over that side, and it's just went full. And I only really want 3, so I'm going to take these 3, but I will. The present. Why is there so many cards coming out? These are all in reverse. The 4 cards that landed out on this side, which is my left side, which is the logical side, are all in reverse. So we have the 10 of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles, which 10 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles is, one is feeling victimized and one is feeling rich. So it's this whole rich versus poor game in reverse. And the Knight of Swords, which is fast moving action, but then because it's in reverse, it's slowing up. There's something, I literally see that horse being stopped, like no further. Now, interesting, because it's a knight, right? And we had the King of Swords for the past. So the knight's like riding in with all of this. I'm going to keep cutting through. I'm going to keep cutting through and forcing you to believe me. Oh, that's so interesting. but no, it's like in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune is with it, and the Wheel of Fortune is preventing any more cutting away of that illusion. So I'm going to put that aside and now read these 3 cards that came out on the right side. So here we are with this feminine energy. So that's the masculine energy of the present, of poor versus rich. And all of this is disrupted, because so if there is a poverty gap with the rich, there's something that's going to be disrupted, being that it comes in reverse, right? You can see the cards, and so it makes sense. They wanted me to say that to you. You can see the cards, that makes sense. I'm not just making this stuff up. So now we're going into those that flew out, the 3 cards that flew out on the right hand side. So here we are, and I think that this is more of the answer of what's happening right here in an energetic field, not taking into account what we see on the news and stuff like that. Not that I watch the news. Okay, so we have the 6 of Pentacles. So there's this giving and taking. There's this sharing going on. There's an awakening happening within the humanities consciousness over in America, of understanding that the poor need to, deserve good people as well, and deserve to have something as well. And so there's this, like, those that hold more money, or those that have the gift of understanding how to bring in money to share with the poor. Literal Robin Hood kind of scenario happening here within the people, within humanity's consciousness, and on in USA. There's an opening up of a new, they're telling me a new parallel existence. And a plane is literally going up above me at the moment as this is happening. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's really loud. And we never get that. We never get those loud planes coming over because we have planes going over in the distance over that way. So that's right when I'm talking about this vortex being opened up. And yes, it could have been opened up by outside means, but it's going to give an opportunity for those that are linked in with their higher self to even use that advantage point of creating something new or moving into new lands, stepping out from behind the cloak, and the sort of truths are coming with them. So there's an opening here of those that are aware and awakening. And then we have the 7 of Wands, which is recognizing the battle, and recognizing that when they're like, there is gonna, okay, they're telling me, no, don't, it is a battle. It is a battle. It is a battle that's coming in. Oh, okay, so there could be something that's going to happen over there that causes some sort of disruption. But those that are more awoken and sharing and understanding and using their energy for the benefit of all, not just hoarding anymore, and then they will be opening up this new world. And then there's those that came out with, and it's all part of the same story, those that are battling. See, if he actually puts down that wand, even though there's a lot of other wands coming at him, he'll find that everyone else puts down their wand because there's no fight, there's no resistance. And that's what these ones are doing. They've put down their wands and they are moving into new higher lands. It's not, they're saying it's not like physical higher lands as such as higher lands within their own energy field, which creates something different. Okay, so that is the present. I've got it all written down here. I was going to tick them off. Present, future. I should actually, just so that I remember where I'm at, because when I'm reading, I'm not very in my logical brain. Future for USA. Future for USA. Where are they going? What's happening with the future for USA, please? What's happening for the future for USA, please? Wow. I literally, while I was shuffling that, I'm like, something's going, because I'm shuffling quite directly, and I thought something's going to go a mess. Either all the cards are going to fall, or it's going to stop, or a mess. And I'm like, whoa, just keep going. And I'm like, whoa, it's just not even going to. So there's some sort of momentum happening with them moving into the future, a momentum that's faster than what they expect. Okay, future of USA, please. Future. Oh, that's so interesting. future for USA. That's too many. I'm sorry, I'm not taking all of those, and I'm sure that they'll come out again. But we do have one. Future for USA. Oh, that's so interesting. Sorry. He's like, what is it? Future of USA. Future of USA, part of America. We've got another one that's come out. Okay. Future of USA, please. That one wanted to come out, so I'm going to pull it out. But this, I knew there was one more as well. So even though I only wanted 3, I'm going to put this one aside. Oh, my God. Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, my gosh. Here we go. Thank you, Bobby. I'm helping to spread love, joy, peace, harmony, hope, healing to around the world, including Mother. Oh, Yannicka, you're beautiful. You are. You're a beautiful soul. Here we go. USA in the future. We have Ace of Swords. So it's a new beginning with new truths, new understandings. Look at the eagles. And, USA and the eagle, hello. A new understanding of truth, a new understanding of cutting through the deception. There's going to be clarity coming in for USA with judgment. So those that are doing wrong are going to be the literal sound of that horn, right? The blast of the horn, the four horsemen, apocalypse horsemen are going to, it's all lessons that are happening at the moment. I literally see this horn being blown, and it's not the horn they're telling me, it's a vibration that's going to resonate through USA and shatter the illusion, so that those that are still trying to control the outer world are going to have to either face themselves or crumble. There's something going to happen there. And it's a sort of truth coming in. And I love these earthy colors. So this is literally happening on earth. There's something happening in the country. Now, on the one card that did come out that I wasn't sure to take was the Queen of Cups. And interesting that I wasn't sure to take. She was in reverse. Because the Queen of Cups is somebody is emotionally in tuned with their intuition, emotionally in tuned with their guidance of who they are, and it's in reverse. So a falling away of the distorted feminine aspect, where females who were trying to become more masculine are going to start to find their power again through the feminine power. The reason why they come in as, or try to be, more business minded, more logical and all of that sort of stuff, is because they knew within their hearts that they were worthy of more, but their worth was not to do with the outer world. It was the inner understanding that they are the eyes of God, the eyes and the mouth, and they are the ones that can hold or speak for the higher benevolence and wisdom coming through. So I'm literally channeling that at the moment. There's an emptying of one cup to fill another. And that is going to bring a unity together, but there's a choice within this card as well, remember. So there's a choice within on USA with who is there, that you always have a choice whether to step through the door of seeing the worthiness of the split between feminine and masculine, and the advantages of understanding that will empower one to love thyself, which will reflect in the magnetism of others coming towards. There's something that they are moving towards, more harmony within themselves out through understanding and seeing this falling away. This is the future. So I'm actually surprised. It feels like the present. So why is this the future? You know what? I'm going to just get an Osho card as well. No, they said this is the card that brings them to utopia. Well, that would make sense. And that does look like a utopic card, right? This is the card that brings it. It's like, I see you now. I see the value of the masculine. I see the value of the feminine, and where it's all supposed to fit in together to unite. It's no longer mixed up. There's no longer confusion, which was distorted by those that were pulling the veil over the people. Yeah, I did say I would try one more Osho, so I'll do one more Osho and see what this comes out. Yeah, so you like they're literally figuring out the people. See, the people are literally finding out that they were always this. They always had the strength within them, and they know they were wearing something different than what their true strengths were. That's what I was feeling from that Queen of Hearts. That the true strength has to it literally like they're showing me everything crumble like mixing up together so that there's no understanding of what's feminine and masculine, and then you like, well, what is the strengths of any of them? They're all just crumbling into particles, and it's just all a great big whirl. And then all of a sudden it's like snap, we get it, snap, we get it, we understand the value now, which and helps them magnetize the or bring in the utopic land. Like I see more where China was more like going off. I see more that they are more like grounded in creating utopia on Earth instead. Okay. Okay, well now we're going to go to Europe. Well, I'm already 40 minutes. I knew this was going to be a long one, but oh well. And I was only going to do the 3, and then I'm like, damn it, I live in Australia. I have to do Australia. Okay. I have angel bumps all over my body. Thanks, Yannicka. Okay, giant rainbow sphere of love surrounding us all. Yes, you're going to ground utopia on Earth through this whole crazy whatever is going to happen. Okay, here we go. Europe. Europe past. Europe in the past. I got to get rid of my history in my head. Europe in the past. Oh, I love it when they jump like that, like floats out. Europe in the past. It's face down, so don't see it yet. Europe in the past, please. Europe in the past. Okay, we've got 3. I love it. They just fall out like that. So, Europe in the past. Sorrow. Nothingness in reverse in the mind. Europe in the past. It was great sorrow. The sorrow card is really very much a hermit going into oneself and letting go. Just thinking, how does this work for? With nothing in reverse. Okay, nothing in reverse. I'm going to go there. This is a card of thinking, of hoarding, of needing, of thinking that they don't have any true value. And so without the value of oneself, sorrow comes in and mind games are played. And so the story goes, they said. I don't like, they're telling me bloodshed, wars, it's just disharmony. Okay, so why? There was a because they had no value on themselves. This card here really shows to me that there's no value, because in nothingness upright, no thingness, and there is nothing and everything. Everything is possible at the same time. When you go into living purely in the moment, into nothingness, all possibilities are on the table. But when you don't see that value of yourself and you are just looking outside yourself for something without the value within oneself, then you will be grasping and finding stories that keep reflecting this sorrow. It didn't matter if you were wealthy or poor. It didn't matter. There was always going to be this like disharmony within one's mind, moving through, not feeling connected to anything, because they weren't connected within themselves. Okay, we'll leave that at that, and we'll go into the present. They say that they're telling me now this is why there's an upheaval of that happening at the moment, because they have been in the longest. They have been the longest in that energy. Okay, so we're going to the present for Europe. Present for Europe, please. Present for Europe. What's happening in this present moment over in Europe with humanity's consciousness? Present for Europe. Okay, we're getting, oh, that's good. Yeah. Oh, I need to say more. Wow. Okay, but how cool is this? We had the nothing card, nothingness, right, in reverse for the present time in Europe. And now we've got the source in reverse, which is absolute opposites. The source is all to do with bringing in optimism and beauty and surrounding yourself with everything beautiful and that sort of thing. It's literally represents the sun and its energy and its rays coming in and shining a light, but still this is in reverse. So they've gone through the darkness in reverse, they've gone through the feminine side in reverse, and then now they're going in through the masculine side in reverse, which is causing chaos and fighting, feeling like that the only way to shift something is to fight it. Now, I know there's lots of different diverse countries over there. Like it's one big, I'm looking at the overall. They're showing me one will bridge to another. One will bridge to another. Where there's fighting and where there's harmony found in another part, one will bridge to another. And that will bring in maturity. So there is there's a reason why all of this is happening. Of course, there's a reason why all of this is happening. I'm literally staring at my suitcase that the computer's on, and it has the Leaning Tower of Pisa on it, and I'm literally seeing everything like the crumbling of that which isn't in harmony, isn't in balance. Crumbling of things that aren't in balance. That makes more sense too. So great maturity is coming through the fact that they are starting to realize where the fighting games are. We need to find source energy. We need to flip. Oh, see, I flipped that upside down. Flip that upside down and flip that up the other way, right? So there's this. Some parts of Europe have found some peace within themselves. It's not totally there even in those countries yet, because they still have to do this inner shadow work to understand fully, but it is coming. And so over in Europe, they will figure it out and come more into maturity. Well, they are coming more into maturity now, because they've gone through the long road. It's gonna take a little bit more mucking around but when they get it, they really will get it. They really will understand and face up to the fact that they were acting more like the victim and little children acting up. That sounds terrible, but don't mean to sound terrible and be like that with them, but it's just this energy that I'm feeling of immaturity, and then moving into, oh my God, absolute maturity, which is fantastic. I literally feel embarrassed for saying that. Okay, here we go. Let's go into the future anyway. Future of Europe. Europe's the harder one because there's different energies depending, and I'm kind of going down more south with the energy, where the top of it feels like it's literally like clearing from the top down. Which I suppose within humanity, that's how we do it. Like we're going to clear our minds to be able to have a release in our bodies. Okay, here we go. Future for Europe. Future for Europe. Future for Europe. Future for Europe. Okay, these ones just flipped over, so I'll grab them, but they were still in the pack. Oh, look at this card. Now, it was in reverse, though, so there's still, even in the future, we're still trying to figure out a few things. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, there's still, I think they're going to take a little bit longer for some reason to get this whole thing. We have control, but we also have the Lover's card, but the Lover's card was in reverse. So here's learning through not controlling. In the future, they will suddenly realize they have to let go of the control of everything to come into balance with oneself and make a different choice. And that will bring this utopic understanding back down onto earth. But it just depends on, it's hard. Probably shouldn't have done just your, that's all right. That's all right. Keep going. Keep tapping me on the shoulder and go, it's okay. Sorry. So, and then we have we are the world. So uniting oneself in one land. Or there might be like a unification that Europe actually becomes one. And that's where they're going to find when Europe becomes one and the boundaries or the borders are all dismantled, that's when they find this utopic place. And that's why it's going to take a little bit longer, because there's this feeling of needing to control their outer world. And when you go into needing to control your outer world, you are pushing against the grain of the natural energy flow of love coming through that's trying to get us, they're present at the moment to allow us to step into this unification within ourselves of understanding it's not just the outside world, it's also an inner feeling of who we are and trusting that. You can go out to the world and go, I don't trust anyone. Well, really who you're not trusting is yourself, because you're not trusting yourself to put up boundaries when someone deceives you, or not to see that deception, which means you're not feeling into who you are. And when you're not feeling into who you are, and then you can feel empathically others as well, then when you're more empathic and understanding of who you are, then that relates to, well, I can trust myself because I can see through that deception and so forth. If you're too busy trying to control your outer world with all the boundaries and all of that, and it's because, I mean, it was split up into so many different fractions. I mean, you look at Australia is one. Even though we do have states, it's still kind of one. We see ourselves as one, where it's literally, you can fit Europe in Australia, and that's so many different borders, because I've been doing this for the long haul. So it might take a little bit longer, but they will get there. It's nice to see that the Lovers cards are coming out, that unification for the future, in both USA and Europe, right? Okay, let's do Australia. Australia. UK, we are finally starting to see a few individual MPs speaking truth in Parliament, only a small handful usually speaking to the utmost empty house, but it's a start, thank God for that. It is a start, isn't it, Mark? That's so good. Certainly highlights the behaviour of the snake of the salesman, which I currently make up the majority. Yeah, the thing is, though, when something's a hard road, when the soul's gone through such an intense journey, the rewards on the other side, because if you can imagine, the tenser you are, the more release you feel, the more utopic you feel. So there is a reason why people or souls put themselves through so much tension, to actually feel that release and feel that utopic feeling within them. It's like the poorest person winning $1 million, like that sort of thing. But there is a transition of getting used to that as well. Okay, Australia, past Australia. Had to do Australia. Australia's past, please. Okay, we have 2 cards fall on that side, 2 cards fall on this side. 7 of Cups. Chariot in reverse. On the right-hand side. And then on this side, King of Pentacles and the Fool. Okay, so we have Australia. 7 of Cups and the Chariot in reverse. So 7 of Cups represents a lot of options, a lot of decisions taken away. A lot of options and a lot of decisions, for some reason they're saying taken away with that Chariot in reverse, because it came out together and they want me to read them together. So the Chariot obviously in reverse is that full stop. No, I'm not going any further. You don't have any more options. You have to do as I say. That sort of thing, which really did happen over here, because we had that happen to lots of the tribal members, where it was just their options were taken away. Very similar to, I think it was USA, right? China? Well, I can't remember. It doesn't matter anyway. And then we have the King of Pentacles. No, it was USA. King of Pentacles and the Fool. So, yeah, pretty similar journey in respect to USA, which makes sense. Duh. Okay, yeah, of course it does. And that's why they've split it again, where USA had 3 one side and 4 the other. They keep splitting. It's like we have two things that are happening here. One is a full stop on that which had a great imagination. So here we are with the original Australians. They had all these stories. They called them dream times, creating their reality through dream time, understanding that their imagination had played a part in their reality. And then this Chariot like literally barges on in and full stop. No, not doing that anymore. Energetically. And we also have King of Pentacles on the logical side and the Fool. So there was a moment where it's like similar story to USA, similar feel, a moment in time in the past where the King of Pentacles being in reverse, they weren't going to go any further with the materialistic side of everything. And so they wanted, it's like needing to ground more, or needing to see their outside world as with more value. And so a leap of faith into an unknown place, into an unknown vortex. Pretty much what did happen when, I'm trying to keep my history out, but it is true. When Europe came over and then conquered kind of all of those tribal members, and then they kind of took over and said, you have to all do it our way, which is understandable. That would be similar to USA. Okay, so what's happening in Australia in the present then? Please, what's happening in Australia in the present? Present time, right here, right now, in Australia. Present. Okay. We have present card. Oh my God. Many people are enlightened in Australia. The sun is shining on Australia. There's a lot more people enlightened here than what you expect. But we also have upside down a Page of Cups. So offerings coming in, right? But it's upside down. So in other words, there could be offerings that aren't for real, like offerings of tantalizing offerings, like, hey guys, follow me over here. I know what I'm doing. There could be it could be anything from showing me a broad range of leadership qualities and people that are leaders or guides, even spiritual guides that are pushing their agenda to try to feel important within themselves without finding the importance in themselves first, or finding their genuine, authentic self first. So be aware of those that are offering foul offerings. You should, when you do this work, be able to sniff that out at this stage. So it's interesting. I'm turning into a dog now. And temperance, it came out with temperance in reverse as well. See, an imbalance in some offering. We could even have officials, you know, saying, we're doing this for you, we're doing all of this for you over here, guys, look at all this, how amazing we are, we're doing the right thing by everybody. And really there's this whole there's this underhanded reason behind it. But there are many that are seeing through this. The sun to me is representing light workers as well, shining and seeing through it and understanding more. So and they're not going to be able to do that deception so much when these guys start to take the real reins of their true authentic self and become that which is guiding others to empower others. So that's happening at the moment. Oh, that's at the moment. Okay. Let's go into the future. Yes, the age of the guru is also passing. Well, we're all in our true sovereignty gurus within ourselves. It's just that we've got to figure it out, find it within ourselves. Okay, so we're looking to the future. Future for Australia. I've got 2 cards come out. It's 1, 2. One more, please, for the future for Australia, please. Ooh. Future of Australia's people. Future of Australia's people. Okay. Oh, that one jumped into my hand as I was putting it down. So I'm going to bring that one with that one. Ooh, decision time. Okay, so we have the 9 of Swords, but it's in reverse. So it's the ending of something. It's going to come crashing down. Truth will be shown. This is like swords represent the intellect and the truth cutting through. And the 9 of Swords is like absolute, oh my God, nightmarish. What the frick? In reverse, seeing through the nightmare, understanding that it's not something that has a hold on you anymore. And then we've got the 6 of Cups. So this is a beautiful card of unity, family, coming together, working together, fulfillment within one's heart, victory, understanding that we have this when we unite. But also they wanted to speak about the 5 of Wands, which is a tug of war within Australia, and it's coming up, a tug of war and decisions to be made. So the 2 of Wands, of what action are you going to take? My guides would love it if we just be the ones that surrender first, not to others being empowering over us or controlling us, but surrendering to our own power and our own understanding. So we let go of that proverbial outside rope that is tug-of-warring with those that are in charge, and we come into our own inner strength. If we don't fight, if we have no resistance to them, they fall over. They fall over because we're standing proud. And like if we actually surrendered, then we fall over, right? But this is not a surrender or falling over. This is a surrender of letting go and standing up and saying, I know my power now, and I don't have to follow that story anymore. They're really being quite strong with it. And the reason why they're doing that is because they've given me the feeling that Australians are being like puppets, puppeting, or people puppeting us. And we're just like, okay. I can't follow that, but there's just some surmountable strength within our own self. We don't need to follow the conditioning of just feeling comfortable anymore. We have a choice coming up in the future, and it's going to be through maybe a bit of a tug of war happening between the people and those in charge. So just be aware of that. But beautiful to see that Nine of Swords in reverse and understanding the nightmare's over and coming into that beautiful Six of Cups, which is family unity, like literally family coming in. Like I that's what I'm feeling like. Just your neighborhood is now your family. That sort of feeling coming in. Okay, guys, that was a long. I'm actually surprised it's only 5 minutes over the hour. That was one heck of a reading, right? That was really long. Oh my gosh. Just seeing who's saying what in the chat bar. Okay. Celtic. Hey, Celtic. See you. You're like, that's okay. Go back to the beginning. I'm pretty much finished. Thank you, Yannicka. I'm really happy to be able to share my team and our wisdom with you guys so that we can maybe get a little bit more clarity of what's going on in the world. Because the logical mind likes to compartmentalize and split things. And so we have to be able to go on to that. We can like tap into Mother Earth, they said, or we can tap into humanity's consciousness. But it was nice to actually separate them and feel into that vibration as well. I don't know why, but they're bringing up the moon for some reason as being another body. Oh my gosh. Okay, where are we going now? Anyway, maybe that's another story that's going to come up in the future. I think I need a cup of tea and a little break. Don't forget, I am an intuitive reader. So if you want to have a one-on-one, that helps me heaps. And same with these beautiful lessons, these masterclasses that are coming up. It will help me heaps to purchase those if you're interested. I'm trying to. Sounds like I don't like selling myself, but I've been told you need to sell yourself a little bit more. So I'm like, okay, we'll have a go at that. So that was my little crack of selling myself. Okay, so over that, love you guys heaps. Until next week on Tuesday, if I don't come live before, if I get a powerful message and I really feel the need to go live, I will go live or make it. I won't be making any videos because my computer is chock-a-block full with these master classes and I'm finding it hard to get space in the storage. So yeah. So, but I will probably go live if I do get a powerful message or something that's needed to be heard. Things are changing up so quickly, so I'm not sure. And from one day to the next, literally last week just feels like a whole other life, a whole other reality. We are shifting things so quickly at the moment. And the more that you come back into center of self, the more it's going to feel at ease and at peace within self. Moving forward, leave you with that one little final message. Okay, guys, love yous all. Bye.